Hi everyone, how are you doing today? George here from Data Academy. Welcome to a new tutorial. Today, let's talk about Git. What on earth is Git, you might be wondering? Well, Git is a version control tool that helps us to track and manage changes to our software code. We're all familiar with all these cloud storage tools such as Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, or Google Drive. They not only help us to store our files in the cloud, they also offer features to help us to explore previous versions of a specific file. And if we want to, say, switch back to a specific version, we can do so with these cloud storage tools. So Git is no different, except that Git is way more powerful and much more flexible. As a version control tool, Git helps us do three major things. So first, Git helps us to track all the history of changes. So for example, what are the changes? For example, which lines of code are changed? How are they changed? By whom? At what time? And second, Git also helps us to do experiment, because normally we have code that is in production, i.e. that's being used by actual users. And when we make changes, we do not want to make changes to the production code. Instead, we want to experiment. So Git helps us to do so in a very safe environment. On the other hand, if we decided to switch back to a previous working version, we can also do so with Git. And lastly, Git also helps us to collaborate with others. So both you and your colleague, you can work on the same code in the meantime. So that's basically what Git does for us. Now let us look at a specific example in terms of how Git achieves all these things. So just now we discussed that we do not necessarily want to work with production code, because if we make some changes that are going to break the code, that's going to be not good. So then what can we do? Well, with Git, what we can do is we can create a copy. Let's say, for example, we start from the initial copy of the code. We call this version 1, v1. And then we do not want to mess with the production code, so we're going to create a copy, and we call that version A down here. And then from version A, we're going to make some changes. Let's say we're developing a feature, and if we're satisfied with all those changes, then we create version B. And then we can merge this version B back to the main copy, i.e. the software code that's currently in production. And that gives us a version 2 in production. Next, let's say you are going to continue working, you're going to be developing a new feature, and then you created a new copy from version 2, that's version C. And then from there, as usual, you develop your feature, you create a new version, that's version D, and then you are satisfied again, you are going to merge this change, incorporate that back into the main copy, which gives us version 3. However, in the meantime, your colleague, they also started working off of version 2, and they created copy E down here, and they also made some changes there, which gives them the version F. But at this point, there is a new main copy, your version 3. So what they need to do is they need to incorporate your change there from version 3, and then from there, they can create a new version G after incorporating your changes into the changes they made. And from version G, they're going to make some additional changes, which gives them version H. And finally, if they are satisfied with everything, they are going to merge this back to the main copy, which creates version 4. So that's what Git is and how Git works in a nutshell. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.